Good morning, my wonderful friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is Trash Craft Tuesday, and I have these bits of packaging that my hubby was throwing out at his work, and I just think the shape is really intriguing. Beautiful curved corners, this little notchy bit out here, and yeah, I just think really fascinating. And I do enjoy an unusual shape. It just captures my attention, and it's like, must be able to do something with that. And so I've come up with an idea with these. So let's get into it. I hope you are all well today and enjoying the week so far. Now I'm going to be using papers from RachandBella Crafts. This is actually last year's Christmas kit, Timeless Christmas. Huge, huge, huge kit. It's split over several kits actually. But I printed out the whole thing last year, and I never made any Christmas journals last year. And it's like the new Christmas kit is out, and I'll be showing that in a video soon. But it's like I need to use these because I've printed them all out. I've used paper and ink, so let's use some of those, and they will go beautifully with this year's kit as well. And I want to make multiple Christmas journals this year. I don't know how I'm going to achieve it, but we're going to try. So let's use this Trash Craft Tuesday as an opportunity to get some ephemera made. So I've just chosen out various papers. I'm going to just start with covering the whole thing in this paper. Isn't it pretty? Presents and Christmas trees and holly. What's not to love? I am totally getting into the Christmas vibe this year, really early, much earlier than what I normally am. Well, apart from when I was a kid, But it's like I'm excited for Christmas this year, really excited. Now that may have a little bit to do with the fact that we've almost completely done our Christmas shopping. Like, who are we? Normally we do it like we might do the odd bit here and there, but come December we're like, oh no, we've got like heaps to get and we haven't done anything or done very little, and wow, it's going to be really stressful now and really expensive. Well, we are mostly done, which is amazing. Thanks to my hubby who's been plugging away at that over the last couple of weeks. Still got little bits to do, but the majority is done, which is, yeah, I just still can't believe it. Like, we're still in October. Excuse me, a little bit of frogginess coming in there. Let me have a wee sip of my tea. I'm getting onto this quite early today because I have a lot to do and I'm out for extra time this week, meetings and bits and pieces. So yeah, I need to crack on and get as much work done as I can. So I've covered it. I'm cutting around. Oh, and I've discovered that it's not actually straight. These are like a cardstock, and it's not cut straight along that edge. So I'm gonna kind of cut off the little lumpy bit there was there. For once, it wasn't me. It was actually the professionally cut piece wasn't cut properly. I wonder if they're all like that. Oh well, we can deal with it. Yeah, so lots on this week, and I want to get ahead on December's filming, and I have not even started that yet. So I don't know how that's going to go because we're on holiday for 3 weeks. We're actually only away for 1. But I'd like to to have a good solid break. But that's going to be a little tricky getting in there. I wonder if it will be easier to kind of do this. So the curves are going to be the trickiest. Careful, careful. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Get the little bit off my knife. Yeah, so I am... it's that time of year, isn't it, where everything just starts piling up. Events, responsibilities, financial things. Oh, doesn't that look so pretty? I love that. So pretty. And actually the knife worked really well, just being very careful to get those curves. A little bit of a sharp point there, which we just took care of. Okay, so I think I'll do the back as well. Now do I want to do, because I'm intending on hinging these. Do I want this to be the same paper? Or do I want a different paper? How do those two, the different greens, does that matter? One's the front, one's the back. I only grabbed out a small selection of the papers because I didn't want to like go into overwhelm syndrome where I'm like, oh, there's so much to choose from. So I just randomly grabbed out a bunch, trimmed the white off them, and thought that's good to go. I actually like these together. This is the shabby version. There's a brighter version as well, and that's actually upside down. I can see there's text on it, so I'll make sure I put it the right way up. I actually quite like that together, so I'm going to use that one. So on this side, so how's your week shaping up? Have you got a busy week ahead? And how are you doing on your Christmas shopping? Have you started? It comes up so quickly, doesn't it? It just like you think, oh, we've got ages, and here we are staring down the second half of October. We'll be in November very soon, and that's the month before Christmas. Like, it's just incredible how quickly time's going. The other reason I'm quite excited for Christmas is all these wonderful kits that are coming out, digital kits for Christmas. So RachandBella Crafts and Joey Cardmaker, the Junk Journal Studio, and many others. They're the ones I'll be working with though. I think that's plenty. Joey's got 2 out, and then there's the 2. The one I'm working with, the Junk Journal Studio, is not a new one. It's new to me, but it's not a new one. But it's fantastic. And I have finished fussy cutting it out. Yay! And I'm now fussy cutting out the Nostalgic Noel from RachandBella Crafts. So it's just non-stop cutting here for me at the moment. It's like watching TV, I'm cutting. If I go out and spend the day out, I'm fussy cutting. Like, I'm just full on, full steam ahead. And I'm enjoying it. I love fussy cutting. I think it's just very satisfying. That's a little thing there. And this one was straight. It didn't have the little bulge out the side that the other one did. Right, let's try the knife again, just the whole way around. Oh, that is not trimmed properly. Let's do that first. That's better. So the thing with this is I will be going, you know, cutting around them twice for each piece, because I'm also going to back the inside to make it writable. But that's okay, it doesn't really take that long. This is the most fiddly bit, of course, cutting out this little notch. And okay, you are likely not going to have anything like this, but you could just do my idea that I'm going to be doing today with any shape. It doesn't have to be the same, or you could replicate something like this if you too like the shape and think that's pretty cool, because I think it's pretty cool. And you know, I'm gonna use this fun stuff that comes across my radar. Okay, so that's going to be like that. And that could be written on as well. So it could be purely decorative or it could be written on depending on the papers chosen. Okay, so for the inside, I want to use yet another piece of the kit, this Timeless Christmas. Do I want to go red or green? Let's just flip these over so I can get a feel for what I want. So I've got two options, I think. Would be this one or this one. I think the red. Yep, the red. Okay. So I'm just gonna, is it, it's not actually too bad. I was thinking I was going to change out that blue page, but I don't think it's too gluey. So we'll risk it. We'll be brave or silly. The jury is out yet. We shall find out. So that's another reason I'm really keen for Christmas, is all this wonderful inspiration that's coming out or is around and or is new to me. Another factor that's making me excited for Christmas is Gail Agostinelli is busy working on Christmas journals, and just so beautiful, stunning and inspiring. Nothing like a good visual, is there, to make one excited. And then probably the final reason that I'm excited for Christmas, you know, apart from Christmas is just a fun time, is I've recently joined a Facebook group which is Christmas Ideas, and it's New Zealand specific. And it's just like seeing everybody's posts and their trees and the decorations and the crafts that they're doing for Christmas. If they're a crafty person, it's not a craft group, but there are crafty people in there. So some people are making things. And it's just like, ooh, oh, that looks so cool. Oh, that's fun. Oh, it's just getting me all in the festive vibes. So all those things combined would like be really tricky not to get excited for Christmas. Right. Oh, I think these are going to be so fun. They're going to be probably a little thicker than your typical piece because it's 2 layers of cardstock, 2 layers of paper. No, 2 layers of cardstock, 4 layers of paper, and then whatever decorating we do, plus hinges. So, you know, they're not going to be super, like, thin. Not at all. But I think, you know, every now and then we can just break out and do something that's a bit bulkier, can't we? And you just make allowances for it, or just have a nice little chunky journal. And I quite like a little chunky journal, you know, something that's generous and full and happy. A chubby journal is a very happy thing, friends. We don't need to put our journals on a diet. No, 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 no. No diets for our journals in this neck of the woods. Right, oh, it's, I might have to add some tacky glue, maybe. I think it's just because it's wet and holding it, it's wanting to lift off the paper. But I think if we just cut them apart, it's going to help. So it's not pulling that paper off the back. I did grab out enough to make 2 of these, so we'll see how we do. We'll decorate up this one and then see if we've got time to start on the other one. Okay, I'll do the cutouts both at the same time, I think. Well, one after the other, not like trying to cut through both together, but use the scissors while they're in my hand, and then we'll switch to the knife. around the corners. Concentrating, gone quiet. Oh, I didn't cut that very close in. And I've got a little bit up there. This bit I can possibly, actually I might try my fussy cutting scissors. Just a little edge in there. No. See if I can get a little bit closer in. Okay, next one. Oops, I'm tearing the paper. Did not want to do that. Oops. Lots of oopses, isn't there? I have a feeling I'm cutting in too much on an angle and I might have some white showing on the other side, but we shall see. Oh yeah, a little bit munted there where I dragged the paper rather than cut it, but that's okay. We can use a bit of ink and it will, which I intended on anyway. Just gonna clean up my scissors a little bit. I've got little fragments of paper which I can't stand. It gets in my way and annoys me, so just take care of that. Okay, out comes, now do I want vintage photo? I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do in terms of the journals, what ink, but I think I'll go vintage photo. Oops, there's here from hubby cutting my hair yesterday. Finding it everywhere. He's my hairdresser, you know, just I wash my hair and he combs it and then just straight across the bottom and done. So it took quite a bit off too, probably 3 to 4 inches. So the front is kind of sitting on my shoulders and the back is a little bit lower. So he went straight across, so I don't exactly know how that happens, but maybe it's just the curl in my hair. The shorter it is, the more bounce it has. So maybe it's just like an illusion. But anyway, that's fine. I'm quite happy with it. When I went to put it up in a ponytail last night, it was like, man, that's short. Can I get it in a ponytail? Yes, I can. It's not actually that short. Not really. It's, you know, at the back it's still below my shoulders. But you know, I'm not sure exactly whether it's 3 or 4 inches, but a good, you know, a good section he took off. And I haven't had that much taken off for years, so it feels short. I really need to go to hairdressing, get it done properly, you know, give some shape and stuff, but that takes time, it takes money, it takes everything. Decisions to actually what I want, that's half the battle. My hair is so thin now, I don't know actually what would make it look better, which is probably why I need to go see a hairdresser who has the knowledge and experience and some ideas on what would suit me and how they could help my hair look fuller and stuff. Yes, I do really need to go to a hairdresser one day. You know, no hurry. I've still got hair. I'll still have hair tomorrow, I hope. But yeah, I'm finding hairs just randomly, you know, shorter bits, not my usual long hair, popping up in weird places. Like, how on earth? I even had a piece. Hubby cooks me breakfast every morning. Well, cooks us breakfast, eggs on toast. And there was a piece of hair between my egg and my toast. I was like like I was nowhere near the fry pan because he fries the eggs. It's like, how? Like, how does that even happen? It wasn't on top or underneath. Like, I could understand that a bit more, but it was actually in between the egg and the toast. I said to my hubby, I pulled it out and I held it up and it says, do you want it back? It's not his here, but I'm thinking maybe it transferred from him, you know, maybe. I don't think he's wearing the same clothes as what he was yesterday. Pretty sure he wasn't because he's in his work clothes this morning, but it's like, how? It's like the missing socks. You know, you put 2 socks in the wash and one comes out. It's like, how does that happen? It's weird. Okay, so we've inked up. We have got a little bit. Oh no, I think that's actually on the digital. Got that shabby look, which is really fun. Yeah, I did mump that a little bit, but it's okay. The ink has helped. So they're going to go together like that and flip up like so. Just see a little bit of white showing there. Let's just give that a little bit more ink. I'm being very pedantic about that. Now for hinging, originally I pulled out this fabric here, this lovely brown fabric, which is, I guess, actually okay. Now I don't know whether I want the hinges inside. I probably want them on the outside actually. Probably want them this way round. I was thinking, oh, it's Christmas though. Do I want the brown? I'm going to try line these up. Is that straight? There we go. It's kind of straight. Now do I want that? Actually that one's a bit wide, I think. Like that. I don't actually think that's too bad. We could live with that. But when I realised that I was going to be doing Christmas, I also grabbed out 2 other options which I haven't cut to size. So there's this one. Beautiful colour. Or we have some green gingham. So I don't think I've actually got any proper Christmas fabrics. I'm thinking at some point I might have to change that. I might have to do a little bit of shopping somewhere. Or keep an eye out in the op shops. So which one do I like? I like the red. That was pretty quick. I was like, yep, no, it's going to be the red. So that little piece there is probably about the right length. So take some strings off. We're going to be creating more strings, but we trim this in half. Now is that going to be, if I just kind of fold it there, that's going to be a good width, I think. So fold it in half again so I can kind of cut it evenish. I'm not going to attempt to tear it, I'm just going to cut through. Take some more strings off. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Grab out my fabric glue. I'm going to glue the hinges on. And I want the hinges on before I decorate so that I know I can see how it's going to be, rather than adding the hinges on afterwards and perhaps potentially upsetting the balance of the composition, or it doesn't quite look appropriate. So I'm just going to put glue, hopefully I'm in frame, kind of in a square on each end. I'm not going to cover the whole thing in glue, I don't think. So kind of like a square there and a square at this end. I could probably go a bit further up, closer to the middle. Oops, glue strings. It's a different kind of string, isn't it? I'm going to put that there. So adding a bit of textile with the hinges, which is fun. I want to do this relatively quickly so that if I need to adjust the positioning to allow it to fold properly, that it's not set in stone. I have left a gap between them, so they should close up okay. I'm hoping. Can always hope. Right, and I also want them to be straight. I've actually moved them where they were lined up straight. Right. Look at that. That's fun. That is really fun. If you wanted to sew these, of course you could sew them. I'm not going to. I do want to get my sewing machine out today because I've got a cover, at least one cover I need to sew and some fabric flips to do. So I do need to grab it out, and I keep putting it off, and I'm getting to the point where I cannot keep putting it off. Oh, love that. That's super fun. So we have writing space. Might have to put a little bit extra glue there. This could also be writing space, as I mentioned before, because of the paper that I've used. But I don't think I'll add any decoration unless I put just a little fussy cut or something. But this side, I mean, it's pretty as is, but let's do something to embellish it. So I'm going to use some pieces from the new kit this year, Nostalgic Noel, which I haven't finished cutting out, but I did all afternoon and evening last night. I was cutting it out. Haven't finished, but I'm sure we can find something that... Look at this truck. I love this truck. This truck's so fun. I also want, you know, to make sure it stands out from the background. That's actually quite pretty. And I was thinking about using some of my red tissue. Or I also have this Christmas napkin, but I think that's going to be too busy. I'm sure I've got a small piece of this somewhere, but I don't know where it is right now. I'm not going to fuss it for it. I'm just going to tear off a piece, a new piece. This was basically a whole brand new piece of tissue I found at a junk shop, which was just brilliant. Perfect colour for Christmas. So put that one away because we're not going to use that right now. That's just too much. I want some interest on the edges. Oh, excuse me. About there. I just want a little bit. I don't want a huge... Whoops, I think I've gone in. No, that's okay. Don't want a huge amount. I don't want to cover all this prettiness. Want to lift it away from the busyness of the background so that both the background and the focal image are celebrated. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Okay, I might change this. I don't want to risk my tissue sticking to it, because I'd have to start again, and I don't want to. So just putting glue on the tissue itself. Oops. Carefully. Perhaps not as carefully as I would have. Oh, look at that. That's fun texture. But not what I'm going to be doing. I'm just going to do it flat. And just ease it out with my card. And you can still see that pattern in the background, although this is going to be sitting on top and covering most of that. But not all. I think that's really pretty. I do want to ink around it though, so let's do that. Yeah, I'll have to think about what colour I want to do the main inking on my Christmas journals in. And it might be different, you know, I might stick with vintage photo for some or all, or I might mix it up with red or green. Or even edging stuff with gold ink would be quite nice. That's another kind of thought I've had. Okay, let's glue that on. I think that should be okay. I'm going to dispense with that one because I think it's going to be a bit gluey now. Put it nice and centered and straight-ish. There we go, that's where it landed, that's where it's going to be staying. Do I want a word or something? I think that might be quite nice too. Maybe up here. There are words. Now, my containers, I haven't set them up yet in terms of labelling. So I've got to kind of look through the plastic to see what's in each at the moment. Because I put labels on the ends of them so I can see, you know, if I'm looking for something, I know which container to open. Oh, we've got cute little tickety bits too. That could be quite fun. But I think I want a word. I actually... Now that I think of it, I don't know that I have actually cut any words out. I don't think I have. So I might go back to the Timeless Christmas because I know there are words in here. Like this container is full of Timeless Christmas. And like there's so much I have not cut out. It's utterly amazing. I need to go back and cut it all out. So I've got it available and ready to go. But I did, when I was pulling out the papers, I did see words. Yeah, words here. I think these were a freebie from last year. I imagine they're still available on Ko-fi. Coffee. Oh, they're paper clipped together. All the words. Okay. Oh, I'm flicking things around. Sorry about the exclamation. Joy just went for a little ride onto the floor there. Oops, what am I caught up on? Oh, scraps. Goodness, what a mess. I need to sort this out, guys. I really, not on camera. Oh, they're so cute. I need to sort all this out. Beautiful scraps. They should be in my scrap bag, because they're not going to get used sitting in here, are they? As we could say about the rest of the stuff that's in there too. Need to organize, cut it out, organize it, and use it. Right, I just retrieved the Joy that went for a little, because I'm thinking that might be really nice. Might be the one I actually, like, it wanted to be on here, even though it flew off. It flew off, so I have to retrieve it and use it. just thinking, do I want to straight cut it? Do I want to use fancy scissors? Or do I want to tear it? I think I'm just going to cut it. So many decisions, guys. No wonder it takes me forever to do things, because even just down to the basics of, do we want straight edge with scissors? Do we want fancy edge with scissors? And if we do, which pattern of fancy scissors? Do we want to tear it? Do we want to tear it straight with a ruler? Or do we want to hand tear it like I did the tissue and make it all uneven? Like, that's just before we even do anything. We're making those decisions. And sometimes they're conscious, like I was then. And sometimes it's just, you get that feeling of like, for whatever reason, you know that you want to do it. You haven't even considered that you've already made that decision, but you would have, even if it wasn't like a conscious decision, but you would have made it. It's quite time consuming, this oh, I like that. That's lovely there. It's not cut straight, by the way. I can tell, putting it on the book upside down, that I have not cut it straight, but I don't think it matters. I think it looks quite lovely. Joy. Oh, I think that's super fun. So just a fun little journaling spot. I might, do I want to add any more glue? Maybe on that bit. That one's quite a wee way down from the top of the card. So we might just give it a little bit more glue in that piece. Come on, glue. Have I got a dry glue stopper there? Come on. Have I not opened? Sometimes I find this bottle I don't actually open properly. I think it's open and it's not open all the way. Yeah, it's just another little twist. And then we're, yeah, that was the problem. It wasn't actually open all the way. Just, since I've got a little bit of glue on the nozzle, just come in and do that little edge there as well, rather than waste the glue. Oh, that's fun. That is really fun. So that can tuck into a pocket. I'm just gonna, oh, getting hard to pull off. So imagine this is your pocket. So it could tuck into a pocket, or you could even hook it over the top of a page. So again, imagine this is your journal page, and you could just sit it over top as a little hanging piece that can be completely removed, which is actually a fun idea, because that kind of moves some of the bulkiness to the top of the journal instead of having it all towards the bottom. So often things sit at the bottom like pockets, you know, we put them on the bottom, and it can be a bit thick at the bottom and, you know, half the thickness at the top. So that would be a lovely way to bring some of that bulk up. I think that's fun. And look, you could even use it as a Christmas card. It stands up. You could use that as a Christmas card, totally. Write your message. Oops, and I see I've got a little bit of repair. It's just lifting at that paper. Oops, glue bubble. Oh yeah, the whole top is actually not glued adequately. So let's fix that up. Everything else seems to be okay, just that one little area. Yeah, so totally, Christmas card. That would be a fun Christmas card, wouldn't it? Make a bunch of them, send out to your friends using the hinges instead of just an ordinary, you know, single piece of card that opens up. And I love that it stands. That's so cool. I love it. How are we going on time, guys? Shall we start on the next one? I think we've got time to at least cover these. Okay, another sip of my tea. Get ready to go. Okay, let's do a different pattern. Yes, one of these. There's one with birds, or there's just the poinsettia and holly. I think maybe, oh, it's hard to know. I think it could go in any direction actually. I don't think it's got a specific. This one with the birds obviously does have a specific direction. How about we do both? This one on the front, or maybe this one on the front, because we'll embellish it so we won't be covering, and do this one on the back. So the back will be purely decorative. Okay, we're going to do that. Right, on to the gluing. Just wondering whether I should add some tacky glue around the edges to begin with. Maybe I will. Just insurance. Oops, wiggly lines. Oops. Oh, I think that page is too gluey now. It's sticking to everything. Right, so let's plop it there. Good term that, plop. Plop it on. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this one. So yep, so this side. Give them a little moment to dry while I'm doing the gluing before I cut out. I think that might help as well. And I'm thinking maybe with this one, aged mahogany might be a really nice choice for doing around the edges. Aged mahogany distress ink. I think that would look really pretty with these poinsettias and the wee little red cardinals or robins. I'm not sure exactly what they are. The little red birdies anyway. Okay. Oops, knocking everything over. Now I would like to get a bird on, so I'm going to put it right there because I know there's a bird about here somewhere. And so we just have a usable scrap for something else, not a problem. That one can go up there. Let's grab this one. No, give it a rough cut out first. And I'll do the same with this one actually. I do want to preserve the length of that strip though. Getting those corners stuck down hopefully. Okay, let's put my lid on my glues because I just left them all open and lying around the place. So very easy, simple project. Of course, if you don't have these, which I'm betting that 99.9% of you do not, then, you know, just make or find something else, whether it's a bit of other shaped packaging or find some cardstock and just cut a shape that you like. It could be any shape. It doesn't have to be this shape. It doesn't even have to be rectangle. You could, I don't know, make a star or something. And you just have different way of hinging it. You might have 1 point, you might have 2 points of contact for the hinging. But this certainly does save me a bit of time because I'm not having to cut out the base. So my recommendation is, if you can find some packaging, you know, maybe it's a tea box that has an interesting shape that gives you two of the same piece, or you might have two of them, or a tissue box, or, you know, something. I'm sure you can find something. But worst case scenario, just cut yourself a couple of rectangles, maybe cut out a shape if you want to, or just keep it rectangle and just tinge them the way I have, and it'll still be amazing. I'm sorry if you could hear my tummy gurgling. Pretty sure that's the cup of tea going down. And it's getting cold, so I really need to finish it off before it's stone cold and disgusting. I don't like cold tea. Ugh. It's very close to being stone cold. Okay, this is the first one, so let's do this one first. And I find if the more upright I hold my knife, the more likely I am to tear. But I quite often forget, and that's why I got that tear on the other one, because I was holding it too upright and not using the length of the blade to cut. And it's very tempting to go upright when you're, you know, working with a small area and trying to get round curves. Come here. Can't pick it up for the life of me. So that'll be the back with the lovely birdie. And this, which I can now see I have not trimmed properly. I really am being quite finicky, but that's just me. If I see it's got an issue, I want to take care of it. And then this is going to be the front with some lovely focal image on. So inside, what colour would we want inside? See, these work beautifully together. We could do green stripes. That would be really fun for writing on as well. I'm going to do that. Okay. So here I am going to need to make sure to get it straight when I put them down on the paper, because I don't want wonky stripes. I don't want the stripes to, you know, because that's not going to help with writing, is it? Well, could be interesting, I guess. But yeah, I would prefer to get them straight. So there is that challenge. It's going to be a busy week at the food bank this week. Had an urgent request this morning, or last night. I'm not sure actually whether it was last night or this morning. So they're going to get just a small parcel to get them through until our day on Wednesday. And over the weekend there was a request for 3 parcels, and they're from further afield, so they need to tie in with the person going through. 2 large families of 8 and a couple. So I'm not doing any of the parcels today because it's not my day. So the other lady will take care of those. And then I received 2 requests this morning, which I'll you know, it's the start of the weekly requests. You know, it starts from Monday morning usually, and we start getting the messages in asking for parcels. So it has begun. And the two that I've received this morning are pretty sure from people who have never requested parcels before. So that's really cool. I really like helping out the ones who are, I mean, I like helping them all, don't get me wrong, but I really enjoy the ones who really just need that help right now and are not usually getting that help. You know, this, because it's a hard thing to ask for help. It's a humbling thing to need assistance. And so I really respect people that acknowledge that they just need a little help right now. And so I just really relate to those people who just, you know, it's like, you know, don't want to ask but really have to because they've got families to feed. Now, I didn't put tacky glue on that, did I? Hopefully it'll be okay. The other one was okay. There was only one area we needed to deal with, so I'm sure it'll be fine. Yeah, so it's those either emergency cases because of something's gone wrong. You know, usually something's gone wrong, either a death or sometimes it's happy. Sometimes it's they've had extra family turn up and, you know, haven't allowed for that in their food budget and a wee way out from their next pay, that sort of thing. But often it's a bad, you know, or a negative situation where there's been a death or injury or illness, or lost a job, you know, things like that. Usually not happy things. So yes, so I'm quite looking forward to doing those 2 parcels on Wednesday, and I'm sure we'll have more by the time we get to Wednesday. We started out really light last week. We were coming up to Tuesday evening and I'd only had 1 request, and I was like, wow, that's going to be really quiet. But by the time we got to me doing the parcels on Wednesday afternoon, we were up to 4. So yeah, sometimes it can, oops, I've got a bubble in there. It's not lying flat. Let's ease out those bubbles. That's better. Yeah, it can be quite random. So I think the least number of parcels I've done in a week would be 6, I think. So between Wednesday and Thursday, and the most I've done is 12, which was super busy. Like that had me proper exhausted. At the end of Thursday, I was proper exhausted. I was like, I can't move. You know, not just exhausted, but tired. That's the same thing, dear. Sore and stiff. So sit down and then it's like, oh, that's such an effort to get up again because everything's seized. So yeah, interesting. Anyway, I don't know whether you want to know about all my adventures at the food bank. But yeah. I don't even know if I told you about my wildlife adventures from last week at the food bank. So the week before I freed a bunny, I think I did tell you guys that. But last week, there was a black bird caught in the garage against the glass door, so it would come in through the big garage door. Instead of turning and flying out the other way, you know, the way it came, it was banging up against the glass door because it could see the way out, but it couldn't get out because the door was closed. And it was just as I arrived, so I managed to get my hands on it. Took some doing because it was busy flapping around, this poor little black you know, reasonable sized blackbird. So eventually I managed to catch it, and I had to keep 2 hands on it because it was struggling. It didn't want to be in my hands. And the other lady cat was there at the same time, so she was able to open the door, and I held it up and opened my hands just so it was sitting in my hands, and says, there you go free, and it flew away. It was so cool. It was just really lovely. And then the other thing wasn't so much wildlife. So on the property where the food bank is, they have lots of birds. So they have ducks and geese and hens. So yeah, lots of birds. And they had some duck eggs that were abandoned. So they put them under a chook, a hen. And so on, what day was it, Wednesday or Thursday? I think it was Thursday last week. I got to see 9 little baby ducklings with their mother hen. Oh, just so adorable. I took some photos. They're not great photos though. They were from a wee distance, even though originally I was up quite close to them. When I first saw them, I didn't have my phone on me. And then I had a moment later on, I went out to take photos. And unfortunately, there was another lady there who was busy. I went out with my camera and was about to take a photo, and she came along and started herding them and moving them. And so 1, she was in my way. 2, she was making them move. And so I wasn't terribly impressed. Like, she could see I was there wanting to take a photo, and she just took it upon herself that she was going to start moving them. So yeah, anyway, they're not great photos, and they're from a distance, so you know, but super cute. So there's 9 in total. So there's 2 that are yellow, 2 ducklings that are yellow, and there's, I don't know, 2 or 3 that are sort of mostly black with some yellow on them, and the rest are black. And they're just the sweetest little things, just so cute. I think Mama Hen is going to be a little concerned the first time they go in water though. First time they take off into the water could be a little alarming for Mother Hen. She might be a bit upset about that, but it's just adorable. And 9 of them, 9 baby ducks. Oh, I love spring. It's just the best. So I'm just amazed and thrilled with the wildlife, or animal. I mean, they're not wild, they're domesticated, the ducks and the hen, of course. Just thrilled with the wildlife encounters that I'm getting being involved in the food bank. It's not something I anticipated. And I've seen quail. I've only ever seen quail previously in like aviaries. Never seen them wild. And now I've seen 3 quail actually crossing the road in front of the car in the driveway. And they're so cute. They're adorable. They're even more adorable when they're wild, you know, not caged up in an aviary. So sweet. So yeah, oops, I just lifted that off with my vigorous brushing. Just a wee corner. So yeah, super cute and fun. Right, so we could use that one. Yeah, see, I keep grabbing that one and it's too wide. Do we want to use the brown? Is that, I think, which one's thicker? I think that one's slightly wider. Do we want the brown? I think that actually looks quite nice. We could go with the red again. I'm not the green gingham. I'm not. I thought it would work, but when I put it against the papers, I thought, no, that's pretty as well, isn't it? I'm going to go with the brown though, because I've already cut it. So I'm just going to take a moment to line these up again. I better check the time too, because I thought Didn't think we'd have enough time to get these done completely, or this one done completely. I think that's straight. Okay. Oh, no, we're out of time. So I will glue these. I'll finish them off camera. So we've done one and almost, we're not far off, but I'm going to call it quits because we're over an hour already. Thanks so much for joining me, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this project. I encourage you, go find something to use as base, whether you make it or find something, some sort of packaging. You can recreate this in any shape or form. Have fun, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. Bye for now.